guys! Today I'm going to review another Pete Walker film, and this is called The Comeback.
Starring Jack Jones as the idol of millions, he becomes a target for terror, a man fighting for his career and for his life in Comeback.
The Comeback came out in 1978 and is a British psychological horror slasher film. It was directed and produced by Pete Walker. It was written this time by Michael Sloan and Mary Smith. It was the last of 5 Pete Walker films with music by Stanley Myers. It was shot on location in London, Sussex and Surrey, England. The manor house used in the film was Foxwarren Park in Surrey. The film runs 100 minutes. It got mixed reviews when it came out, and it was considered, like the previous film Schizo, to be a more conventional horror film, very much like the slasher films that followed in the 1980s. The blood used in the film was real. It was outdated blood donated from a local hospital. Pete Walker actually played the killer in the elevator murder scene, much like Dario Argento plays the killer when you see a killer's hands. Sheila Keith came up with the idea of a character to have a Scottish accent. The film stars Jack Jones, Pamela Stephenson, David Doyle, Bill Owen, Sheila Keith, Richard Johnson and Penny Irvin. So the plot of this film's a really weird one. A singer holds up in a sinister estate to write new songs for his act. However, the ghost of his murdered wife begins to haunt him. Then a person who killed her shows up at the mansion. So it's a strange mixture of a slasher film where you don't know who the killer is, and a ghost story where you think there's this haunting of his dead wife. So she's just been killed at the beginning of the film. In quite a gory death actually. You actually see a hand getting cut off by this strange killer dressed in a mask, an old woman's mask for some reason. It's never properly explained why the killer dresses up like that. So there'll be no spoilers again in this review, because these sort of films, a lot of the fun's trying to work out who the actual killer is. So one of the best things about this film is actual casting. So the film's all about this singer, this musician trying to make a comeback after 6 years. And Pete Walker actually cast an actual musician, a singer, Jack Jones, in the part. However, he did consider other people in the role. The director, Pete Walker, initially offered the role of Nick Cooper to Roxy Music singer Brian Ferry and intended to shoot the film in the US. He also considered Cat Stevens and Ringo Starr in the lead. So one of the downsides about this film is actually the lead, Jack Jones, even though he's an actual singer, playing a singer, he doesn't really have much screen charisma. My perfect casting for this movie would have been someone with a bit more screen presence, and my perfect casting for the film would have been someone like David Bowie. He actually just did The Man Who Fell to Earth. That was a 1976 film, so he's a great actor as well as a singer. And for me, you needed someone like that in this film. Jack Jones came across as a little bit bland for me. Pamela Stephenson, she plays Linda, his assistant, and later in the film his love interest. She's quite good. She looks great, and she's famous for being a comedian in Not the 9 O'Clock News, so she's more associated with comedy. David Doyle plays his manager. Hey Phil! That's that lucky bugger who was in Charlie's Angels. Yes, Bones, he was. He played Bosley, the boss in Charlie's Angels. From 1976 to 1981, 5 seasons. Bloody lucky bastard. Yeah! It's actually a strange scene where David Doyle is the manager. Nick goes to the house to see him, and he's inside the house dressing up as a woman, so he's a secret transvestite. And it's a really bizarre scene. Not another bloody transvestite. Is he getting ready to start a bloody sporting event, playing against bloody real women? No bones, he wouldn't have been in a women's sporting event. He's not a cheat. I'm old-fashioned, Phil. I like women that have vaginas. Sheila Keith's back. She was in 5 Pete Walker films. She was absent in the last film, Schizo, but she's back in this one. She has a Scotch accent. She plays the housekeeper.
Something smells good.
I told you I was baking bread. You should listen.
And her husband, who's the groundskeeper, is none other than Bill Owen. Hey, that's that scruffy bugger who was in Last of the Summer Wine. You know, Compo, that scruffy little bugger. Yes, he did, Bones, you're right. Peter Turner plays Nick's friend, who's actually gay. You can tell straight away that the guy's gay in the movie, and there's something up with him. He's jealous of Nick's new love interest, and there's a really strange scene where him and Nick's girlfriend are together and they're in an elevator, and for some reason he starts trying to show her up, going on about breasts and his extensive knowledge of breasts.
That's the first thing I notice about a woman. Her breasts. Large, small, rounded, curved. I'd say yours were on the smallish side, but...
So he's an expert in tits. Hey, bloody hell, what a dirty bloody bastard he is. I think he's the bloody biggest tit.
Very round. Large nipples that harden when you're sexually aroused.
Other familiar faces pop up as well. Richard Johnson, who was in The Haunting from 1963, which is my favourite horror film. He pops up in this, playing a doctor, and even Penny Irvin pops up. She was in another Pete Walker film, House of Whipcord. So all these bunch of characters are all together, and you know that one of them's a killer that dresses up. So you're not sure which one it is. For me, one of the more interesting aspects of the film was the subplot about his wife getting murdered at the beginning. And then when he's in this manor house where he's trying to work on his music, at night he hears this crying and all these strange things are happening while he's in this manor house. So you're not sure if it's actually haunted by his dead wife, or if it's the killer trying to drive him crazy. Stanley Myers returns to score his 5th and final film for Pete Walker. And it's interesting because I think this could be his best work. It's strange because it's a film about a musician. However, Stanley Myers' score for the film's really good. Unfortunately, David McGillivray isn't writing this screenplay. He did a lot of other Pete Walker films, but he doesn't do this one. And you can tell the difference, it's not as good. For me, it was the final act. The resolution of the film's not very good, which is a shame because after a great build-up, I expected something a bit better. However, I do like the idea of how stars, musicians, actors, them type of people can influence fans, and how the media can make certain people act a certain way. However, the resolution of the film, the ending, was a bit naff. It didn't work for me. However, the final shot of the film did work. I did like the final shot that I'll not reveal. So although the ending, the resolution of whoever's doing the murders, that didn't work for me, the actual last shot was really good. So you'll know what I mean when you watch the film, if you watch it. So for me, this was second tier Pete Walker, one of his more weaker films, but I did enjoy it. So out of 10, I'll give it a good 7. 7 out of 10. For me, it was just the last act that spoilt it a bit. Jack Jones wasn't that great. I wish they'd have got a better actor, like someone like David Bowie or someone. Or Brian Ferry. He would have been good that they were considering. So what did you think, Bones? Did you like it? Not a bad film, Phil. It's scory, but there's no bloody knockers in it. I'll give it about a 6 out of 10. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe and share. Bye everybody, bye. Bye.
Up the Kelly's doorstep, down the Paradise Road.